Today we will talk about stress. Stress is a psychological response to demands that exceed one's capacity or resources, with stressors being the triggers and strains being the negative consequences. It is a normal response to challenges, but can have adverse effects on health. Stress depends on both the demand and individual perception, coping strategies, and evaluation of stressors. A stressor is an event causing stress, while strain is the response to stressors, manifesting physically, emotionally, or mentally. Stress is the body's reaction to stressors, and strains represent the symptoms of stress. The relationship between stress, stressors, and strains is intricate, influenced by personality, coping mechanisms, and social support. Individuals may experience different levels of stress and strain even in identical situations due to these factors. While some stress can be positive and motivating, excessive stress can be detrimental to health. It is crucial to find a job with a good stress-reward balance and maintain a healthy work-life equilibrium. Okay. Now the question we have now is, why are some employees more stressed than others? The study of workplace stress has a rich history spanning over a century, with scholars exploring various theories elucidating the causes and repercussions of stress. To grasp the essence of feeling stressed, delving into the transactional theory of stress proves beneficial. This theory elucidates the perception and evaluation of stressors, along with the subsequent responses to these assessments. When individuals are confronted with stressors, the primary appraisal process is set into motion. The transactional theory of stress, also referred to as the transactional model of stress and coping, furnishes a conceptual framework for comprehending how people perceive and react to stressful circumstances. Central to this theory is the notion that stress is not solely dictated by external stimuli, but emerges from the interplay between individuals and their surroundings. Stress is viewed as a dynamic phenomenon characterized by ongoing transactions or interactions between the individual and the context. As you see in this figure, the transactional theory of stress consists of two key components. 1. Primary appraisal. This is the initial evaluation where individuals assess whether a situation is threatening, challenging, or irrelevant to their well-being. If it is perceived as threatening or challenging, it is likely to cause stress. Individuals also consider how the situation impacts their personal goals and overall well-being. 2. Secondary appraisal. After the primary evaluation, individuals assess their coping resources and options. If they believe they have the resources and strategies to manage the situation, it is seen as more manageable. If not, the stress response is more intense. The theory emphasizes that stress is subjective, meaning people may appraise the same situation differently. It also recognizes that stress is not solely caused by external events, but is influenced by personal interpretation and coping abilities, highlighting the ongoing interaction between individuals and their environment. Also, the figure shows 4 types of stressors. We will discuss these stressors in more detail in the following slides. In work stressors, we have hindrance and challenge stressors. Hindrance stressors in the workplace impede an individual's ability to achieve goals or perform effectively. They stem from factors like lack of resources, role ambiguity, organizational politics, discrimination, and daily hassles. For instance, cashiers facing frequent equipment breakdowns and irate customers at a convenience store experience increased stress. These stresses hinder personal progress and often evoke negative emotions like anxiety and anger. Examples of work-related hindrance stressors include role conflict, which is a type of hindrance stressor, where individuals face conflicting expectations within their job, such as a call center operator being expected to handle many calls while minimizing time spent on each. Role ambiguity occurs when job responsibilities are unclear, leaving employees uncertain about what to do. Role overload happens when a person has too many demanding roles to perform effectively. Lastly, daily hassles refer to minor but persistent issues like malfunctioning office equipment or annoying interactions that impede productivity. Challenge stressors in the workplace are stressors that demand effort and skill to overcome, but also present opportunities for growth and development. Factors contributing to challenge stressors include heavy workloads, complex tasks, tight deadlines, and high expectations. Employees typically view these stressors as beneficial in the long term, perceiving them as opportunities for learning, growth, and achievement. Challenge stressors, although tiring, often evoke positive emotions such as pride and passion. Time pressure is a common work-related challenge stressor, characterized by a sense of insufficient time to complete tasks. While high time pressure situations are perceived as stressful, individuals often see them as more challenging than hindering. Work complexity relates to how much a job's requirements exceed a person's capabilities in terms of knowledge and skills. Work responsibility refers to the obligations a person has towards others, with higher responsibility associated with more obligations in terms of number, scope, and importance. Now, family stresses. In family stresses, we have also hindrance and challenge stresses. Stressors outside of the workplace can significantly impact an individual's behavior and performance in organizations. Work-life conflict, such as work-family conflict, where work responsibilities hinder family obligations, or vice versa, disrupts the balance between work and personal life. Financial uncertainty, stemming from factors like job loss or unexpected expenses, induces stress and anxiety, affecting both physical and mental well-being. Negative life events, whether major like loss of a loved one or minor like everyday hassles, can lead to substantial stress and distress, increasing the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and mental health issues like depression, anxiety. These external stresses can have enduring effects on an individual's health and performance at work. Okay, here there are 3 types of challenge stresses. Family time demands encompass the time allocated for engaging in family activities and fulfilling responsibilities. This includes participating in various family pursuits like travel, social events, organized activities, hosting gatherings, and engaging in home improvements. Personal development activities involve endeavors such as formal education programs, music lessons, sports training, self-education related to hobbies, involvement in local government, and volunteer work. Positive life events, like marriage or the arrival of a new family member, can serve as sources of non-work challenge stressors, offering opportunities for growth and development outside of the workplace. As you see, this table highlights various commonly experienced life events, each with an estimated stress score based on how stressful they are perceived to be. Notably, many of the most stressful events are personal rather than work-related. Examples include the death of a loved one, divorce or separation, jail time, or a personal illness. These events are classified as hindrance stressors because they obstruct the ability to achieve life goals and often evoke negative emotions, making it harder to function or cope effectively with daily responsibilities. Okay, now the question is, how do people cope with stressors? The transactional theory of stress involves individuals assessing and responding to stress through primary and secondary appraisal stages. After identifying a stressor, individuals evaluate how to cope with it, focusing on behavioral and cognitive coping methods. Behavioral coping involves physical actions like working faster or avoiding tasks, while cognitive coping entails using thoughts to manage stress, such as finding more efficient ways to work. Coping strategies can be problem-focused, aimed at addressing stressors directly, or emotion-focused, dealing with emotional responses. People may choose problem-focused coping when they believe they can control the stressor effectively, while emotion-focused coping is chosen when they feel powerless. The nature of the stressor also influences coping strategies, with hindrance stressors often leading to emotion-focused coping. Additionally, the prioritization of demands and the perceived level of control over a stressor impact coping strategy selection. Understanding these factors can help individuals effectively manage and adapt to various stressors they encounter. Stress causes strain, which refers to the negative effects that result from dealing with stress. Stress can lead to physiological, psychological, and behavioral strains. For example, Naomi Henderson, a CEO working 120 hours per week, experienced paralysis due to stress and required bed rest. The body's stress response mechanism initially helps individuals function effectively in stressful situations, but becomes harmful if stress persists or occurs too frequently. Physiological strains occur in various systems of the body. Stress weakens the immune system, increases heart rate and blood pressure, and causes musculoskeletal problems like tension, headaches, and back pain. It can also disrupt the gastrointestinal system, causing indigestion and stomach aches. While young people may dismiss these risks, stress can significantly increase the likelihood of severe health issues, such as heart attacks, and have long-term negative effects. Psychological strains include depression, anxiety, irritability, reduced self-confidence, and burnout, which is characterized by emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion from ongoing stress. Burnout can lead to job dissatisfaction or career changes. Behavioral strains manifest in unhealthy habits like grinding teeth, excessive smoking, alcohol use, or overeating. These behaviors can be detrimental both to the individual and their organization, although the specific causes for these behavioral responses to stress are not fully understood. In this chapter, the discussion has focused on how the average individual responds to various stressors. However, an important aspect that has not been addressed yet is how individuals differ in their responses to demands. One key factor influencing these differences is the presence of the Type A behavior pattern. Individuals exhibiting the Type A behavior pattern are characterized by a strong sense of time urgency. They tend to be impatient, driven, competitive, controlling, aggressive, and sometimes even hostile. If you find yourself constantly moving, speaking, and eating quickly, and frequently feeling irritated by individuals who operate at a slower pace, you likely exhibit traits of a Type A personality. Recovery from stress is another crucial factor affecting the stress process. Adequate recovery involves replenishing one's coping energies during periods of rest or relief from work. Engaging in leisure activities that promote relaxation is more effective in restoring energy compared to tasks that require additional physical, cognitive, or emotional effort. Furthermore, social support plays a significant role in managing stress. It comes in two primary forms: instrumental support, which aids in addressing stress directly, and emotional support, which helps alleviate emotional distress. Social support from co-workers, supervisors, family, and friends can buffer the impact of stressors on individuals, providing additional coping resources. Overall, understanding individual differences, the impact of the type of behavior pattern, the importance of recovery, and the role of social support are crucial in effectively managing stress and mitigating its negative effects on health and well-being. Okay, the question we have now is, how does stress affect job performance and organizational commitment? Hindrance stressors negatively impact both job performance and organizational commitment. They create strains and negative emotions, reducing the physical, cognitive, and emotional energy employees need to perform their job duties. These strains, such as illness or exhaustion, directly impair job effectiveness and can lead to counterproductive behaviors. Hindrance stressors also have a strong negative effect on organizational commitment. Since these stressors cause dissatisfaction, employees may feel less committed to their jobs and be more likely to consider leaving the organization, particularly when their work leads to constant illness or exhaustion. Challenge stressors have a positive relationship with job performance and organizational commitment, though the relationships are weak and moderate, respectively. Unlike hindrance stressors, which decrease performance and commitment, challenge stressors can enhance them by triggering positive emotions, problem-focused coping strategies, and engagement. The benefits of these factors outweigh the negative effects of the strain caused by challenge stressors. However, over time, high levels of challenge stressors may lead to presenteeism, where employees work despite being ill, which can prolong illness, spread it to others, and eventually reduce performance and health. Interestingly, the productivity losses from presenteeism are even greater than those from absenteeism. Okay, the last question we will discuss is, what steps can organizations take to manage employee stress? The initial step in stress management involves assessing stress levels and sources in the workplace through a stress audit. Managers can evaluate factors like organizational changes, job nature, and relationship quality to estimate stress impact. Once stressors are identified, actions can be taken to manage them. Organizations can reduce stress by either eliminating or lessening demanding situations or by providing resources for coping. For instance, practices like job sharing, sabbaticals, and flexible working arrangements can help reduce stress. Moreover, providing resources such as training programs to enhance job-related skills and supportive practices like flex time and telecommuting can aid employees in managing and balancing their roles effectively. These strategies are particularly beneficial for hindrance stressors. While resources can help employees cope with challenging stressors, promoting commitment and performance, managers should carefully consider implementing supportive practices to enhance employee well-being and organizational outcomes, even during challenging times. In efforts to reduce strains in the workplace, organizations employ various practices. One approach involves relaxation techniques like meditation and deep breathing to counteract stress effects. For instance, Herbert Benson recommends repeating a calming activity daily. Cognitive behavioral techniques help individuals appraise stressors more rationally through self-talk and coping strategies. Health and wellness programs, like employee assistance and fitness initiatives, aim to reduce strain by promoting overall well-being. Companies such as Humana and Grant Thornton have implemented programs encouraging exercise to combat burnout and depression. These efforts can yield positive returns, as seen in L. Bean's wellness program, significantly reducing healthcare costs.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.